Hey guys, how you doing? Snoot here. Today I'm going to be giving you a little in-depth tour of my two setups. I got one in front of me here for work and then one behind me here for gaming and streaming. So I'm going to give you a little bit of info about what I use and why. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so starting on this side of the room, there's really nothing to see here, just my closet. Got a couple of tapestries for Led Zeppelin, Queen, and Star Wars. Have my bathroom over there. There's a lamp and my bed. Over here, you can see this is the Corsair 900D. It's a decent case, not the best. I'm actually not using this right now. There is a motherboard in here, which I don't think you're going to be able to see too easily. But that was an eBay PC that I built last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't exactly remember. And it does have two Xeon processors in there, but they're pretty old. So that is not hooked up currently, but I am going to be doing something with this in the near future. On top of it, I've got my Oracle notebook. I use this for work every day. It's what I write in. And right behind that is the I think it's a TerraMaster, and it's a USB-C RAID enclosure. I've got two 4TB Western Digital RAID drives in there right now in RAID 1. I mainly use this for backing up my main computer, which is over here on the left, and I do also use it for torrents and scratch storage. So just to the right of that, or to the left of that, I have the right channel speaker, the transparent T0, or Manitou Transparent Zero. Pretty good little speaker. The pair costs $350, so it is a little bit pricey compared to other computer speakers, especially since this does not have a subwoofer. It is a 2.0 setup, but it has a lot of great connectivity. It has Bluetooth, and the sound is really good for a 2.0 setup. So if you need to save some space, I do recommend this setup, and it comes with a remote, which is pretty cool. Alright, up here, this is a LED lamp that I got off of Amazon. It's a pretty great lamp. It does let you move it around on an arm here, and it has touch controls underneath, so I can dim it just by touching the power button, hold the power button to turn it off. And there's a control for color temperature, so I can change the temperature of the light just like that. Down here, these are the Hi-Fi-Man HE500 headphones. By far the best headphones that I've ever had. They are planar magnetic, which means they are not the traditional type of drivers that you would see in most headphones. But they're open back. They sound really good, especially paired with the amp and DAC that I have, which I'll show you in a second. I got these on eBay, so I did not pay full price for them, and they came with these AlphaPad ear cups and this custom cable. Custom cables for this headphone can range anywhere from $100 to $200 from what I've seen. So I did get a pretty good deal on these headphones as a whole. Over here, these are the controls for my Jarvis bamboo standing desk. So you can see I can set this to different heights and it will move. So it's pretty great to be able to kind of stand up and move around more during my work day, which is pretty good. Over here, this is my ThinkPad P71 laptop. It has a 4K display, quad-core Xeon processor, 32 gigs of RAM. It has two PCI Express NVMe slots. Only one of them is occupied right now, and then it also has two 2.5-inch drive-based slots where I have a 500 gig SSD and a 1 terabyte platter drive in the other one. This is the computer that really does it all. It's got two Thunderbolt ports, 4 USB 3.0 ports. It does have Express card, and then some other standard ports. Over here is the built-in color calibrator by Pantone, which is pretty sweet. This is what I use to work on. It's also what I use for personal projects and browsing the web, consuming media, etc. So this really is the computer that drives my whole setup over here, and it has been a fantastic computer. It's running Ubuntu 18.04 right now. I may install something else on it later this year. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit over here. But yeah, this has been a great computer. I would definitely recommend it to anyone else that has really heavy development workflow. So this laptop is driving two LG 4K monitors. I have one of them in landscape over here in the middle, and then another one in portrait on the left here. Really great displays. They can often be found on Amazon or Micro Center for under $400. And for 32-inch 4K with FreeSync built in, that's a pretty good deal, I think. I don't see anything else around that price range with this size and resolution. So on top of the monitor, I have my Logitech 1080p webcam. I think it's a C922X. I'm not entirely sure if that's the right model number, but it's a pretty good webcam. I use it mainly for conference calls. And if you look behind the monitor over here, you'll see the remote for the Vanna2 Transparent Zero down there. You'll also see the power brick, which is massive for the ThinkPad P71, along with the cheap $20 mic arm that I have for my mic, and the not so cheap monitor arms that I use for the two LG monitors. Those are by Logitech, and they're the heavy duty ones, so they've been really good. They allow you to really place the monitors wherever you need them to be. This is the Samson CO1U mic. It's a USB condenser mic. There are better mics out there, but I think I picked this up for under $50, and for just doing conference calls, which was really what I mainly do on this computer, as far as a mic goes, this is perfectly fine. Up here I have a Microsoft Cinema HD webcam. I think it only does 720p. I don't really use it anymore. The intention was gonna be streaming stuff that I would have going here on my desk. I never got around to it, but maybe someday. So back down here, on the bottom of this stack, this is a shit stack, and yes, that is the name of the company that makes these products. SCHITT shit. On the bottom is the Magni 2. And that's what I have my Hi-Fiman HE500 headphones. They plug into that. Really good amplifier, definitely provides all of the power that these headphones need. And on top of it is the USB DAC that I use, the digital audio converter, and it's what connects the amp to the computer. That's the Ship Modi 3, I think. So here, this is the CST trackball. This is my really primary and only mouse that I use for this computer. Really great mouse. Nice, easy trackball. The scroll wheels up here and two big left and right clicks. It is a little expensive. I think I run about $150, but totally worth it in my opinion. I definitely recommend anyone who has not tried a trackball, if you have multiple 4K displays, you get a much more accurate pointing experience. So when I'm going around different terminals and IDEs all day long, this really helps. One, keep the desk area kind of neat, so I'm not moving my mouse around a lot, and two, it's a lot more precise. So the keyboard that I'm using for this setup is the Unicomp PC122, which is based off of the original IBM design. I believe Unicomp is who owns the patent for these keyboards now. They do have buckling spring switches, so very loud, very tactile, very satisfying to type on. So that is a pretty great keyboard right there. You might be able to see back there, I do have a Logitech, I don't recall exactly what the model of that is. It's the newer blue mouse from Logitech. Not a bad mouse. I use it when I take this laptop on the go, but that is not very often. So it mainly just sits back there. And you can see I have some custom keycaps over here. There's the old Tech Syndicate logo, or maybe that's what they still use, I'm not sure. I believe that is a Year of the Rooster Chinese character. There's the 90s solo, or not solo, the 90s Jazz Cup design, and that is the Ho Long Bay from, I think, Vietnam. I'm not sure. That was a really cool keycap. I just haven't decided where to put those things yet, so they're just kind of sitting there. So over here, this is my main phone. This is the phone that I have my SIM card in. It's the one that I use every day. It is the Xiaomi Mi Mix, and as you can see, it's very reflective on the back. It's got the fingerprint sensor. I'm not even sure how many megapixels the camera is. It is a 2-year-old phone now, but it's still very fast, very great to use. Has USB-C down here. I just tap this and automatically my phone's unlocked. And you can see I have Twilight going, so my screen looks red. But very good phone, very fast. No complaints with that whatsoever. That's a lie. I do have a couple of complaints. The camera being at the bottom here, and I have a small issue with calling occasionally. But other than that, it has been a great phone. But I think it is time for an upgrade. This is my wallet, nothing special. It's Bride, which is a racing seat company. And this material is what you would find on a racing seat, which is pretty cool. And my car keys for the Hyundai Equus, which is parked down the lot right now. Down here, I have some old PS2, GameCube games, Nintendo DS games, a couple of Blu-rays, and my work laptop, the one that was issued to me from work, but I almost never use that because it is way underpowered for what I'm doing. Some books. There's a Snoot action figure, which is pretty cool, next to Emperor Palpatine. A couple of Switch games, Lighter Fluid. These are the current Star Wars books, so the ones that fall under the Disney timeline, and then I also have some comics in here. Those are pretty good. Over here is the Legends Star Wars content. Also very good. And for those wondering, I have read everything here. Except for this, I'm currently reading this. I have not read this. I have not finished Canto Bight. I kind of stopped reading that, so I got to start again. And I have not read this, so I've read most of these already. As for up here, I've read maybe a third of these. I have not had a ton of time to read those, but they are pretty good from what I've read so far. Over here are just some older books from high school and college, a couple of notebooks, mostly programming stuff. And then up here, old PC and PlayStation 1 games, and a crap load of stickers. Just piles of stickers. Okay, so that is my workstation. This is where I sit for most of the day. I do work from home as a web developer. I'm still figuring out the gimbal, guys, so I'm sorry for the jerky, shaky camera movement. But yeah, overall, pretty good setup. We're gonna move on over to this side of the room now. Up here, there's the Philco Magistouch Air Bluetooth mechanical keyboard. It's got a nautical theme for the keycaps right now. I don't remember exactly what that pack was called, but I got it on Mass Drop. And they have Cherry MX Black switches. This is by far the worst keyboard I've ever had. It has, like, you can hear the difference in the switches. They're supposed to be all the same, but they're, I think, Kyle blue switches. They're pretty bad. And this trackball is awful. It's the worst trackball I've ever used. So I just kind of throw keycaps on there randomly. There's no chance I'm ever going to use that keyboard again. Over here, this is the KBT Pure. It has Cherry MX Red switches, and it has these keycaps were from Mass Drop also. They're much quieter switches. I was using this for my gaming PC for a while, and then I switched it up to a different keyboard. But this is still a great keyboard, and I love these keycaps here. Over here, this is the Mistel. I don't remember the model, but it's a Mistel keyboard. It is obviously split. It has Cherry MX clear switches, so they're tactile, not that loud, but very stiff. And then I have a Miami keycap set on there. Not the best keyboard. Not something I'll probably ever use, honestly. Over here, this is just a bunch of junk. It's kind of like a junk drawer. Got old phones over here. I have the NVIDIA Shield, which I barely ever used. A giant light bulb behind it. A candle, which my girlfriend made me. And down here I have a couple of things for my Switch. A battery there on the left, and then PCI Express to SATA dual drive adapter. I do have something coming up where I'm going to be using that in. It used to be in this computer when I did use this, but I do not use that anymore, so it's not there. And then I have some more storage here. Really nothing crazy in there, just some tools and old keycaps. Over here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but on this desk, I do have the XXL Glorious PC Gaming Race mouse mat, and it takes up most of the 60-inch desk. Oh, I didn't mention my watch over here. This is the Fossil Explorist Gen 4. I just got this recently, and it is a great watch. I really love the way it looks. It's got a big screen. It's comfortable. And the new Android Wear OS is pretty good too. So back over here, again, XXL Glorious PC Gaming Race mat. This is a Kensington trackball, which I don't use all that often, but I do keep it over here and plugged into the gaming computer. This speaker here is the right channel for my Swan M200 MK3 speakers. By far the best speakers I've ever owned. They sound amazing, especially when you're like 6 to 9 feet away. They sound really, really good, super clear. I would say they are closer to music monitors than a traditional speaker, 2.0 speaker would be. So they are really, really good. This right here is the Heil PL2T mic arm. Pretty good mic arm. No complaints. It's big, so that's pretty good. And then on that, I have the Heil PR40 microphone. Definitely an amazing microphone, and I have the Heil pop filter on there. Really, really good microphone. It makes my voice sound way better than it actually is. This mouse is not the mouse that I was using. I was actually using a Razer Naga Chroma, but it had a bunch of problems where it would basically stop working in game for any given amount of time, like 10 to 30 seconds sometimes. So that was a no-go. So I had to switch back to this older Razer mouse. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called Typen or something. It's okay. I do want to replace it with something else this year, but I'm not sure what yet. So yeah, that's what I'm using for now. Over here, this is my KeyCool 84. It has Cherry MX Blue switches. So very clicky, but very light switches. It is a good keyboard. I love that it's compact and still retains the F-row here, which is great for some of the MMO games that I play. And then this is, I can't remember the name of the keycap set, but I got it on pimpmykeyboard.com. So that is a pretty good keycap set. And then this is just an Xbox wired remote, which I use for Forza and some other casual games like Cuphead. Then the main monitor for this setup is a Samsung 40-inch 4K monitor. I do want to downsize to like a 32-inch 1440p monitor with a higher refresh rate. Right now, this monitor is only at 60 hertz, so I would like to get something that's 120 or 144 hertz this year. And I used to sit much further away from my desk because I had a different desk not too long ago. So the 40-inch was great for that, but now I'm sitting much closer. So I want to get something smaller, like 32 inches. And then I have the left channel for the Swan M200 MK3s. And this is my USB DAC. So this is the Mica Origin 2, I think, or Pro. I don't remember. But it's pretty cool because it has switches in here. The bottom switch is for gain. The top one lets me switch between variable pre-out, which means it's not amplified, but it is still controlled by the volume knob here, and that is what these speakers get plugged into. And then I just flick the switch up, and it switches the output to headphones. So the headphones that I have with a very, very long wire over here, ignore that mess down there. These are the Sennheiser HD598s. I have had them for like 6 years now. Great headphones. They sound really good, especially for the money. If you don't mind that there's not a ton of bass with them, they really are great headphones. This is the remote for the Samsung. This is the remote for my Dyson Hot Cool air purifier, which my girlfriend got me for Christmas, which is really awesome. This is a ThinkPad X230 running Ubuntu 16.04, and I customized it to look like it's running Mac OS 9, which I think is pretty cool. Really great laptop. You can get these on eBay for like anywhere from like $100 to $300, and they can take 16 gigs of RAM, mSATA SSD with a 2.5-inch drive, and you can get them with i7s, 3rd gen i7s, and I sticker bombed this one. And it also has an extended battery down here. You can see those lights. That's what makes this laptop look so thick right now, is I have 2 batteries in it, so I can actually get like 10 to 15 hours of battery life depending on what I'm doing on it. Very, very handy to have that included with this whole setup here, so I can kind of look stuff up while I'm in a game or something and not have to tab out. This is just a BenQ 24-inch 1080p monitor. Nothing special here. I've had it since I was in college. I do want to replace it at some point in the future, but for now, it does the job. That's kind of where I just throw my Twitch chat and other stuff while I'm gaming. Over here, this is the King UA wireless phone charger. This is what I plug my iPhone XS in. Not plug in, but this is what I put it on. It has a built-in fan, so your phone will not get too hot while charging. So if I want to run an app like Pokemon Go or something while my phone's charging, that's no problem. It won't get hot. But of course I am recording with this phone right now, so it's not on the dock. This is just a random USB-C phone charger that I got off Amazon recently, and what I like to do is take the Xiaomi Mi Mix, and while I'm here at this desk, I will just plug that in, so it'll just sit there. So over here, again, Jarvis, fully bamboo standing desk. So my entire setup here, I can adjust it. So if I want to stand in game, I can, which is pretty neat. This right here is the Allen & Heath Z10FX mixer. It's kind of overkill for what I need, but it does give me some future-proofing with the ability to expand. Really great mixer. I'm very happy with the way that it works together with the Heil PR40 over there. And what I'm doing is I have the Heil PR40 plugged into input 1 over here, and then this output, this balanced output, is going into the DBX166XS, and this is a compressor, a limiter, and a gate, which, if you don't know what that is, it basically cleans up my audio and compresses it so that it doesn't go over a certain decibel level even if I'm yelling, which is pretty good for streams. You can see I just triggered it there, so if I start snapping at the mic, you'll see it start to go off. And it'll basically cut off my audio when it is below a certain decibel, so you'll never hear a ton of background noise on my stream, which is great. So I can run fans and stuff in the background, keep myself cool or warm or whatever, and you guys on the stream will not hear it. And that is going into the Focusrite Solo, which is just the USB interface that I'm using for getting the audio into my desktop. It's not, this whole setup isn't really the proper way to do it. What I should do is have the DBX as an insert somewhere here, and then the USB should be going out from here to my computer, and I shouldn't need the Focusrite at all. But I was lazy, and I just set it up like this, and it works, so that's what I'm doing. This is the Apple Time Capsule 1 terabyte. I've had it since I started college back in 2009, so it's served me pretty well. I don't use it as a router anymore. It's just in dummy switch mode. It's kind of annoying though. It only has 3 Ethernet outputs on the back, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what Apple was thinking there. I guess they expect everyone to be wireless, but it's not the case. This is just an IKEA lamp. There's really nothing special here. These Bose headphones I have had since high school. I thought they were great, and then I started getting into good quality audio headphones, and I realized that they are actually crap, and now they're kind of falling apart a little bit too. These are just some cheap Samson headphones that came with my Samson mic. Those are some Razer headphones I got for like 60% off back in college, which is the only reason I got them. They are very, very average, nothing special there. I'm sorry, these are not the Samsung headphones. These are the Sennheiser PXC450, which is noise canceling headphones. I kind of got them expecting them to be really good, and then they turned out to not be that good after all. So that just goes to show you that even highly reputable companies like Sennheiser are not going to put out the best stuff all the time. So yeah, Razer headphones, and then those are the cheap Samson headphones. And then you can see over here I have a Jimi Hendrix Tapestry, which is pretty freaking sweet. Over here to the last part, I have a GameCube, which does not really get used, but it will be at some point in the near future, as this whole area over here is going to change. These sunglasses are from Small Batch Eyewear. They're made from old bourbon barrels, supposedly. So that's pretty sweet. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I got junk drawers over here, which I'm not going to show you because it's literally just a bunch of crap that I don't need. This stuff over here, I'm going to be doing videos on in the near future. We got a dash cam set up over here, so that'll be fun to set up. And then I have lowering links for my car, because I am going to lower my car a little bit, and this is all you need to do it because I have an air suspension. So you'll be seeing a video on that at some point in the near future too. I got RAM upgrade for one of my servers, and I got a 250 gig Samsung SSD, and some server rails, which you will be seeing another video on in the near future. This remote here goes to the 5-boy, yes, that's what it's called, the 5-boy HDMI matrix switch, and it does 6 inputs and 2 outputs. So that is also going to have some use in the near future. You can see I've already got a bunch of stuff plugged into it. So that about does it. I mean, I have a record player here, but it's not hooked up currently, and that is the receiver for it. But yeah, you guys have pretty much seen everything. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or send me a message, and I'll reply to that, or I'll make a video reply if it's something that requires a little more in-depth of a response. But yeah, you saw the gaming and streaming setup over here on the 78-inch bamboo desk, and then the work setup over here on the 60-inch bamboo desk. So the real reason I'm making this video is because I obviously have been streaming for a little over a year now, and I have had some questions and some comments about my setup, so I figured I would make this video now, because at some point this year, or at several points this year, I am going to be changing this setup around a little bit, so maybe later in the year I'll post an update. One thing I forgot to mention, I mentioned the remote for it, but this is the Dyson. It does hot and cool air. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate you watching. You've been in the streams and everything. Be sure to catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Snoot. That's SNOOT. And be sure to subscribe here on YouTube already if you're not. Yeah, and I will see you online. Peace.